guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So again, it's your boy Kobe Rising.
It's coming for you, coming for you, It's coming for you, coming for you,
Oh, love. Do not forget the gorillas. Everyone know we the realest. A bunch of go-getters. I bet you can tell I'm the illest. You don't need your fingers to feel it. You know I can straight spit. Knock you out with a late hit. Feel like I'm the one like I'm Neo, but this is the real life, not the Matrix. I'm about to go ape shit.
Hustle like the bando. Oh yeah. Hustle like the bando. Yeah. Roll it. Let it burn slow.
Hey, come on.
Let it burn slow.
Yeah.
Anything you want, got
Man, come on. You know we turning up today, man. Y'all see what's going on.
Giving game. Call of Duty, get the murking. Let it burn flow. Put your
Man, what's going on with everybody, y'all?
prosper. That's that
Hold on,
new
hold on,
age.
hold on.
Ain't got time for kicking shit, boy, like I'm Luke Kane. Run it back.
All right. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Kobe Rising Rise. You dig? We back at it again with another banger. Shout out to Queen City Organics. Shout out to True High Clarity. You want to live your life true, high, and with clarity. The sea moss is on the way. So make sure you guys tap in for those that are interested in getting your jar. I already got a few people who already purchased their jar, so theirs is on the way coming soon. So this is a beneficial time to get it in, get your nutrients, get your sea moss, because hey, it's all about health, baby. My man Ernest, what's going on, my boy? Everything is all and well. So I'm glad you actually commented, bro. So check this out. I'm looking for 5 guys that is actually serious about getting to their goals, getting to their workouts, getting right for 2024. It's not going to take that long. I'm looking for a group of Wolfpack guys. I already got a couple, but I'm looking for 5 more. And I want y'all to do the workouts with me because, again, I actually have goals that I need to accomplish. And yo, I need some people that's going to be some dogs. I need some folks that's going to be some dogs. You dig what I'm saying? That's going to come get it in with me. So, man, if that's you, or if you're interested in knowing what I do, how I do it, make sure y'all put a flex emoji in the comments. You dig? And I'm going to get everybody's attention. I'm gonna DM you and then I'll give you all the details about that later on. All right. Yo, as you can see, we have a nice topic. We have an amazing topic, actually. We have a beautiful, beautiful topic. You dig? I already know my man Ernest tapping in. You dig? Big flex on them boys. You dig what I'm saying? But check this out. The topic today is muscle building for fat loss. Interesting, interesting. Well, hey, I think we pretty much need to define here what it is to build muscle or what it is for fat loss, right? So here, check this out. I'm gonna just give you some brief overview of what the internet considers as fat loss. This contributes to calorie burning, even at rest, since muscle is denser and more metabolically active than fat, right? What's going on with you, Dre? Yeah, we here for it. I'm gonna DM you, big dog. Check this out though. That's pretty much fat loss in a nutshell or building muscle, right? Building muscle for loss. And so that's what that correlates to. Now, I'm going to get to a very defined version of what um, fat loss is. And I'm going to give you the benefits of fat loss too. So it is eating an adequate amount of what they say is protein. It's attention to your macronutrients and your calories, along with strength training. All of these things can help lose fat, and all these things help maintain the muscle. So you can also consult with a nutritionalist, um, get with a personal trainer for individual advice and recommendations, of course, what have you. You dig what I'm saying? So I just want to give you the breakdown and the basics of what it is, right? So I did a video a long time ago about the difference in weight loss and the difference between fat loss, because apparently um, there's some differences here, right? And so the first question is, what does your body do when you lose fat? So really, and this is, you can look this up too, and I'm going off of what the internet says, and I'm gonna give you pretty much what I believe about it. The real answer is the fat is converted into carbon dioxide and water. And so the breakdown is, when you exhale carbon dioxide and the water mixes into your circulation until it's lost, as in sweat, or if you go use the bathroom, if, let's say, if you lose 10 pounds, which is actually like 8.4 pounds that comes out, it's crazy because it actually comes out through your lungs, and the rest of it turns into water. And so, of course, you have to flush it out, meaning you have to sweat it out, use the bathroom, whatever you're going to do, right? That all correlates into it. All right. So, yeah, we here for it, y'all. We about to give y'all a banger. So I'm going to just give y'all my take on that, right? So when you lose fat, I think this is in general when you lose weight too. This is why recovery is so important. And so now I'm going to give you my thesis. Now, I think it's three things when it comes to fat loss. And I correlate fat loss and muscle building pretty much in the same category. So you strength train, eating the right foods, and recovery. All these things go hand in hand. And so what it's talking about when it comes to fat loss is actually speaking of the recovery functions of it. So when you look into the recovery aspect of it, this is where you sleep. This is where you prioritize recovering and sleep, because it's important if you're trying to burn fat and gain muscle. So this is the key to increasing your metabolism, so that way you can burn calories while you're sleeping. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Jabari, man, in the building. Shout out to my whole IG family. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, we big tapping into. Hey, make sure y'all take some notes on this, y'all, because we're going to give a serious breakdown. All right. So recovery allows the body time to repair itself after intense workouts. So if you have an adequate amount of rest, this correlates into fat loss. This also correlates into metabolic stabilization. This also correlates to muscle building. Why? Because building muscle happens when you recover. You have to break it down in order for it to build it back up. And when it builds back up, it gets bigger, it gets stronger, it more stable, stamina, what have you, depending on how you train. So it happens when you sleep, when you breathe. So, for example, let's say you exercise. Let's say you're going at fast pace, right? That huffing and puffing, you're breathing out the carbon dioxide. That's where the fat's coming from, because that's what it turns into, according to the internet. So I agree with that. And then you sweating and everything like that. That's where it's coming out at. You have to sweat it out. You dig? You have to breathe out hard, but you also have to sleep. What happens when you sleep? You breathe. You breathe when you sleep. So, of course, when you sleep and you're breathing out all that carbon dioxide, guess what? That's where the fat loss is going. That's where it's going to. Headed to the gym now. I already know, big dog. Hey, we always in the gym, baby. I actually just left the gym not too long ago. Did a killer leg session. To be honest, I think I'm about to do a leg recovery. So I'm gonna do a burnout when I get done with this. So I'm gonna just give y'all a quick burnout tip that I do for my legs. What I'm gonna be doing it today is I'm gonna be doing some standing lunges. I mean, to infinity, pretty much, until they burn themselves out. And then I'm gonna do recovery work, meaning I'm gonna do foam rolling. That helps get the knots and the tightness out, builds that lactic acid up, it smooths it out. So whenever you go to sleep, you sleep better, you are more calm, stretches the muscle out, makes it more flexible and feasible, so you can maintain a longevity of workouts. So these are for my people who train intensity, aka get into that dog work. You dig what I'm saying? So I already know you in the gym, big dog. I am too. All right. Yeah. So do not neglect your rest days, recovery days. Why? Based on what it just said, it's important for you to get your rest because again, that's where fat loss is. That's where muscle building is. Question: in your opinion, what is the difference between building muscle and losing weight? God darn, boy, that's a perfect question, right? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a breakdown of what it is to lose weight. All right, because there's a difference between fat loss and weight loss. I'm gonna do it here for you live. You know what I'm saying? Because you tapping in all the time. So yeah, we want to make sure you tap in, right? So what the bigger answer is, cardio is more so for weight loss, but you want to make sure that you do it the right way. All right. So that's just the bottom line of it. You want to lose weight, meaning lose calories. So you have to be in a caloric deficit. These type of things work. Um, you also want to make sure you are increasing your metabolism. You want to also make sure you're going to muscle failure. You want to also make sure that you are losing the water weight. So make sure you're sweating it out. So these things play a role in weight loss. So this is why the scale is important. This is why the scale is important. So weight loss is overall dropping the weight in any component. That's including you can lose fat, you can lose muscle, you can lose water, you can lose all that other stuff, right? That's losing weight specifically. And in this topic, we talk about fat loss. While fat loss implies that you're only losing the excess fat from the body. And so today's topic is, well, which one is better, muscle building or losing fat? So the real thing is, if you're going to lose fat, everybody talks about how much you need to lose. You need to lose this, you need to lose that, what have you. Well, let's flip it. What are you going to gain? Okay. So most people, they have to work out, but they have to have a goal in mindset. So what's the goal? The goal is to gain something. You want to lose fat loss. You want to have fat loss because what are you trying to gain out of that? Are you trying to look lean? Are you trying to like be cut? You want to build muscle? So these are more specific questions, right? So the real thing that I'm saying is, and based on the comments, in order for you to lose fat, you need to go ahead and build that muscle, gain muscle. When you gain muscle, you naturally lose fat. You naturally lose fat. All right. And again, the way you increase muscle essentially is the same thing that you would do in fat loss. Same thing that you would do in fat loss. All right. These are things that you want to look at. So here's another question that I was asked, right? What's more beneficial for fat loss? And so I'll give my take on it, but I'm gonna also give you kind of like what what you can look up, long story short. You have to eat an adequate amount of protein, aka get your macronutrients, pay attention to the macronutrients and the calories, but you also want to make sure that you strength train. These things help you maintain muscle and lose fat. All right. So that's why I say again, you want to make sure you consult with a nutritionist if you're not sure. But long story short, I put things into a plant-based perspective, right? So I make it easy. And the reason why I do mostly plant-based is because that's going to naturally cut you. That's going to naturally drop you instantly. When you move to a mostly plant-based diet, you're going to lose weight. You're going to lose all of that stuff, right? Now, here's the key. So now if you want to build the muscle, this is where the workouts come into play and consistent work. Consistent work and muscle building comes from the work that you do in the gym. I want y'all to holler at me. Muscle building comes from the work that you do in the gym. I'm gonna give you a quick story I was talking about today. I remember when I first went vegan plant-based, right? First time I went vegan plant-based is, of course, I dropped weight because I didn't know what to eat, right? But I was eating mostly vegetables, so I was getting the benefit, but I didn't really understand, right? So here's what actually fooled me. So this was years ago, all right? I went to a vegan festival in this was years ago, like when I first went. So we had a vegan fest in Durham, North Carolina. So if y'all familiar with Durham, shout out to the Bull City, you dig. They had a vegan festival out there, right? So of course I had my presumptions about what veganism is and all that. The first time I heard about the vegan, I didn't know what it was, but somebody told me that I could do it because all you're doing is not eating dairy. I already didn't eat dairy like that anyway. I said, okay, I can do without it. So I did it. Anyway, so in my mind, a vegan was like a real thin, frail person who lacked nutrients and just looked like a stick, right? But I know I didn't want to look like that, but that was my preconception. I had zero knowledge, whatever. Went to the vegan festival, right? It was crazy, yo. I'm talking about everybody was fit. The girls was looking good. It was curvy and everything, right? And so I was like, hold on. So if you go vegan, then that means you're gonna look good. I'm not gonna say the dudes was buff, but I mean they looked like they was in shape. They were a complete opposite of what I thought. They weren't frail. All right. So anyway, long story short, what I was getting at is the preconceived notion that it wasn't the food that was making them curvy. It was more so the workouts because these people actually worked out. Okay. These people actually worked out. And that's the key. You want to build muscle by working out. Build muscle by working out. Strength training. Now, Jim Quick, if y'all not familiar, is a brain neurologist, and he talks about building muscle and the connection to the brain. I remember he speaks about how beneficial it is to go on a walk whenever you're working because you want to go outside and get some of that sunlight. All these things are beneficial to the brain and cognition and behavior to fire off these neurons. All right. So muscle building also plays a role in your cognitive abilities as well. So there's science behind that. And I'm going to make sure I link this YouTube video in reference to what I was saying. And what I'll do is I'll link it. Matter of fact, I'll try to do it right now. And it talks about the different benefits of actual strength training, building muscle, and the correlation that it has to the brain. I'm gonna see if I can actually pull it up. Well, I'll put it in the chat and you guys can actually look at it that way. All right. But yeah, so these are just some of the things that I've noticed, and that's what I wanted to talk about with you all. And to break the stigma to say, like, if you are mostly plant-based, how's it going, Gail? If you're mostly plant-based, that does not mean that you are in a weak position. You know what I'm saying? My thing is to go hard in the gym on top of a mostly plant-based diet so that way you can get cut, get your macronutrients from the veggies, from the grains, and work out like a straight beast to build that muscle up, because you also want to make sure you increase your androgen receptors so that way you can increase the testosterone so you can build muscle at a faster rate. That's called androgen receptor density. So look that up if you guys don't know. But there are certain foods that you can eat to increase your what is it called? The androgen receptor density. And what that is from a plant-based perspective, quinoa, habanero peppers, spirulina. These things increase your androgen receptors levels naturally, so that way you can build muscle at a faster rate. All right. So for anybody who wants to get cut real quick, anybody who wants to build fast muscle like that, make sure that you are eating the right foods, but also you stay consistent in the gym. Stay consistent in the gym. All right. I just put in the chat the YouTube link that I was referring to. Make sure y'all go check that video out. And it actually discusses the different things and how to correlate muscle building and fat loss from a scientific perspective, right? And they look at it from a macronutrients. They also look at it from a workout standpoint, muscle building, right? I already know the next question. Well, Cobe, if you mostly plant-based, what do you eat to build muscle? I'm going to show you right now. So I eat bowls. This is a chickpea and wild rice, sweet potato. And the vegetables I have for the fiber is kale and bell pepper and onion. This This meal right here is like 900 calories with the adequate serving amount. I'm trying to build muscle, so I'm going to use a little bit more. So make sure if you're going to do that, have the right measurement size for what you want to do. All these things go into play when it comes to building muscle. So, um, based on the information, well, next somebody actually had a question. Matter of fact, Ernest, you actually had a question too. So, hey, there's a guy also. His vegan name is Barbarian Hot. Okay, yeah. I think I've seen him before too. Yeah. And then there's a few guys. There's a bodybuilder who's vegan. Except for me, of course, So I'm mostly plant based. I don't necessarily associate myself with vegan because there's a vegan is more than just food, right? It's ethical way of looking at meat and dairy, for what have you. All right. So I say mostly plant based because that's what I associate myself with. I know people who are vegan and who are completely out of shape, right? That's something I don't agree with, right? Um, I used this example before. Beer and French fries that are vegan, but is it healthy for you? Not necessarily, right? You can actually gain weight from that. I know plenty of vegans who are out of shape. I know plenty of vegans who are, um, you know, actually look they they're pretty much like bigger. They're obese. All right. So don't think that just because you're vegan that you're gonna be healthy. That's why the workouts are the important tip. The workouts are the important tip. So you got another question. Um, I would advise that you all get into meal prepping in order to determine the right foods to build muscle. Yes, meal prep just makes it important in general because once you start meal prepping, you start getting into discipline. You start getting into discipline. You start to now pay attention to what you're eating and what goes into your food. A lot of times, if you go to restaurants, you go to these restaurants and you don't always necessarily know because you're not cooking your food. And plus, you have to wait, order your food. You want to be on a schedule. Meal prepping helps you get on the schedule. I remember seeing that video in my feed. I'll rewatch it again. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Hey, watch it, man. It's a super powerful, important video, man. If you guys are not familiar with Sal, man, he speaks a lot about health, right? And so he gives you a different perspective when it comes to fat loss. But long story short, what was one more question? My fault. Can I lose weight by lifting weights only? Okay. So I'm gonna give you my take, but I'm gonna also give you what the masses say, aka what we can look at the internet and say. You can pretty much burn fat efficiently, yes, by simply lifting weights. All right. So my take is um you can lose weight, you can lose weight by lifting weights only, but is that more efficient? Well, I think that depends on what your goal is because some people are trying to lose weight and muscle. I'm gonna give you an example. So if you're like a track runner that is running, you know, 10 miles or something like that, um, you're probably you're going to want to be on the lighter side. I'm not saying that you're not gonna have any muscle. I think muscle is important, but it's gonna be the adequate amount of size that you're trying to look at. So for weight loss, I mean, you can run on the treadmill and stair steps and not do any weightlifting and still lose weight. You can still lose weight, but the bigger question is, what's your goal? Are you trying to just cut fat? You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to lose weight because you have, like a chronic illness? You know what I'm saying? So you can lose weight however you need to in that regard. So I think the bigger question is, what are you losing weight for? Is it just for you to feel better? And if that's the case, you don't need weights. But the real answer, yeah, you can lose weight by lifting weights only, but you have to do it the right way. So if you are looking to do it the right way and you don't know how, tap in with me. My link is in the bio. So that way you can see where to click on so I can walk you through that. And again, if you're a guy, then, put the flex emoji down in the comment section so we can add you into what I'm doing, because I'm actually on a gain right now. I'm on a muscle building gain. I'm on a fat loss trajectory, right? So I want you guys to join in with me during the journey so we can get you guys right. All right. And speaking of that, I had another question. Why do bodybuilders lose weight so fast? Well, a lot of them lose weight fast because they need to lose the right amount of fat so they can see all the cuts and the shreds, right? But anyway, but muscle building also helps with burning that fat. So the more muscle you gain, you're going to burn more fat that way. All right. So using heavy weight, and I do it for as many reps as I can because that is going to increase the intensity, which also builds the muscle, which aid into losing the fat in general. Aid in losing the fat in general. I'm one of them too. Yeah, for sure. I already know, man. You tapping in with me, big dog, for sure. All right. So I'm gonna make sure I got all my points hit correctly. And I think I did for the most part. And then if y'all have any questions, man, hey, tap in, join in, right? Oh yeah, here's another question. Lose fat? Do you lose fat first or do you muscle build first, right? So I'll give you what the internet says, and what they say is muscle is not lost before fat, right? So I don't think it's one that you do first. I correlate the two, like I said before. You lose fat by building the muscle, just off the rip. The more muscle you build, you're gonna lose fat naturally. Okay, you'll lose fat naturally. So I think you should correlate the two. I think you should have a catered workout plan that's gonna get you into the muscle building, but you also want to do it in a cardio capacity, so that way you are into what is it? That way you're sweating more. That's going to help you get that lean muscle. So that's going to help you burn more while you work out, but at the same time build that muscle up. You dig? And I think, well, from what I've done was you really want to get as strong as you can and train and lift as heavy weight as you can for the most amount of reps that you can with proper form. One of my guys, he talks a lot about eccentric work, and I use that more now than I have been. Is eccentric work is to be able to control the weight on the hardest part. So, for example, if you're bench pressing, when you're coming down, use that at that very moment. That's going to be the slow rep. And then when you explode up, boom, you explode up. That's high intensity. Eccentric, you're controlling the weight as you're coming down. Same thing with squats. When you squat into that low stage, you have to squat down really slow. Control that weight coming down and then explode up to the top. All right, that's some eccentric work for you. So that also helps with building muscle and cutting fat. That's what I've done before. Let's say we have another question. What is the appropriate workout routine for building muscle? I think there's multiple ways. There's multiple routines for building muscle. And the real key is for building muscle, you want to strength train. That's the ultimate answer. The ultimate answer is strength training. You need to be as strong as you can, but having that strength training will help you build that muscle. Of course, there's so many different ways you could do it, right? And again, like I said, if you are trying to do that building muscle, I'm actually doing something for the fellas starting next year. So I already know I'm gonna tap you in so that way you can get filled in on what's going on. So I'll be doing a lot of the stuff anyway, naturally. All right. But what I will say is this: some of the best workouts that you could do is compound lifting, and you want to lift a decent amount so that way you can build that muscle up. What does that mean? Compound lifts are like barbell squats, bench press, deadlifts. You could do different splits. You could do full body splits. You could do push pull legs. And these type of workouts routines will help you do more compound lifts because you're going to do a lot of load at one time. So pull days typically revolve around like back rows, deadlifts, which work multiple muscle groups at one time. What's going on, Slim? What up, Rich? And so that's what I would say. Same thing for push. And push days, you do a lot of bench, shoulder presses, tricep extensions. Like these are some compound lifts because they work multiple muscle groups at one time. Multiple muscle groups at one time. That tends to help you build more muscle quicker. All right. This creates an efficient system so that way you can hit a higher volume of reps. And you don't want to run the risk of overtraining. But me personally, I guess I could consider myself overtraining because of the way I train. I don't think it is, because I've done it for so long. But the average person thinks it's a lot. So, but again, I make my workouts hard because I want to see results fast. So you want to make sure that you make your routine doable, difficult enough to where even if you don't finish it, you still got a great workout. That's a goal that you want to shoot for. Create yourself a goal that you want to shoot for. So go for the overachiever route because that's what's going to get you there. But complete it the best way you can. Give your best self. And the best way to do that is to get the right coaching. You get the right amount of rest. You get the right amount of food because the food is what's going to make you bigger or smaller. It's what the type of food is that you're going to eat that's going to get you to where you want to get to. What's going on, Jess? So that's what I would say. That'd be an efficient way to increase your muscle up. Shout out to Jabbar. He said push pull legs as an asynchronous split is very good. Doing that now before my rocks training. Oh yeah, big dog. That's what's up, man. You want it. So man, yeah, this was a good one, y'all. I actually like this. This was a really good live. This is very informational. But so before we get out of here, I'll just give my thesis around it, right? My thesis is muscle building for fat loss, muscle building or fat loss. I combine the two. There is no different. You want to lose fat, you got to build the muscle. Because if you're trying to lose everything, that means you're in a whole nother conversation. That's losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you don't have to build muscle to lose weight. You can just lose weight by running on a treadmill. You can lose weight that way. Now, I also believe in keeping consistent work. And I believe to lose the right amount of weight, you need to have a great training regimen that includes both cardio and strength training. That's your ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is to have cardio because you need to work your heart too. Your heart is an organ, and it's important. It's an important organ so that way you can live a longer time. Your heart health is important for longevity. Muscle building goes into longevity too because that also increases the skeletal muscle mass. This also helps when people are a little bit older. They tend to have less problems when they are working out strength training. And for those who ride bikes and things like that, that helps your heart longevity along the way, right? Because you don't want to be a big bodybuilder and just be slow and sluggish like you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? What up, Charmaine? And yeah, I think you need a combination of both. Do cardio at the same time, do strength training to get you the right routine for you so you can get there. That's number one. Number two, eat the right foods. Me personally, I use the plant-based method because most people are just trying to cut weight. And the biggest issue we have in this country is obesity. Obesity is the biggest issue when it comes to health in this country. And being plant-based, you will automatically cut weight just by changing your diet alone. You don't even have to work out. But yeah, so check out the food pyramid. It's right there on the screen. Clean meats is the smallest portion, right? And the next biggest portion is your fruits, your herbs, your whole food snacks. This is important for organ health, overall health, because you need the macronutrients. You need all the vitamins that you can get to fuel you so that way you're not tired throughout the day. You have a lot of energy. And the next one is the alkaline veggies and the alkaline grains. This is important because this is going to fill you up. Most people that I say that are just eating fruits and drinking waters and stuff and doing smoothies, they don't get full. They're like, man, I'm hungry still. Well, this is where the alkaline veggies and the alkaline grains come into play. This helps you get your fulfillment so that way you can feel full. And I'm not saying stuff yourself, but feel full. That way you can fuel your macronutrients for your body so you can look the way you can. You can look clean, you can look cut and all that stuff from a plant-based perspective. And the smallest portion, and I mean, it should be the size of what's in your palm. Should be the size of what's in your palm. So if you're going to cut some chicken, let it be in the size of your palm. All right? Let it be the smallest portion on your plate when you eat that. You dig? And that's from a plant-based perspective, right? There's so many other diets out there that may work for them. I'm talking to people who look from a plant-based perspective, right? Because ultimately, I think that will be the win because that helps you stay more on the whole food path. That makes you stay away from GMOs, makes you stay away from processed foods. Because notice, I did not say processed foods on there. I said whole foods. Whole foods. That's on there. Whole Foods is on there. All right, no processed foods. I think you should stay away from it all. You dig? So again, it's your boy Kobe Rise and Rise. I appreciate everybody for joining in, hopping in on the live. This was informative. I love the feedback. I love the conversation. I love the questions. I hope you guys learned something from it. Man, yeah. I want you guys to keep on coming in. I want you guys to continue to learn and continue to grow. Excuse me. I haven't left the girlies out. Oh, trust me, I haven't left the girlies out. I got something for the women coming up as well. So if you're a chick and you're trying to get cut, trying to look good for the summertime, oh, you best believe we have something for y'all too. You dig what I'm saying? We got something for everybody. So right now I'm working on the fellas, and then next we're going to work on the women. All right? I appreciate everybody for joining in, for tapping in. It's your boy Kobe Rise and Rise. We back at it. Shout out to my man Ernest, man. Shout out to my man Jabari. Always tapping in, showing love, man. Thank y'all for being a part of the Rise and Rise Academy group. You dig? And we're going to keep coming hard. Follow us. Follow me in Showtime at the bottom right there. YouTube, Rise and Rise Academy. Facebook, Rise and Rise Academy. IG King Alajuwan. You can follow Showtime on all platforms at Showtime Training Group. You dig what I'm saying? It's your boy Kobe Rise and Rise. We back at it again. And when we face with an obstacle, what we do, we rise and rise, baby. Man, look at that bicep hump, boy. Woo, let's get it. Come here. Stay on there.
Roll it, let it burn slow. Gotta let it burn slow. Yeah, anything you want, gotta earn it. Yeah, it's hell a lot of easy.